Hi everyone, I have all of my vintage bags with me here today, so I thought I would show them all to you. Some of you were pretty interested in seeing the collection that I have. I do use a lot of these for my journaling supplies and planning supplies. I just think it's so fun other than using a traditional pencil pouch or pen case. It's just fun being able to repurpose these types of things just in my everyday use. So I'll go ahead and get started. I will show the things that I have personally had for a while, and I believe most of these just came from my family. So first is this pouch. Most of this stuff I did get from my mom. She was born and raised in the Philippines, so I know some of this stuff came from there. I don't know anything really about these bags except for this one. So this is something, it's lined in some kind of like plasticky vinyl type of material. So I can't even remember how I got this or how it came to be in my possession, but I just remember seeing this a lot growing up. So I have that, not currently in use. This clutch though, this was my mom's, and she actually had a painting done of herself when she was very, very young, and she's holding this purse. So I know this is at least from the 70s, but I have loved this thing forever. I think I've had this for over 15 years. Yeah, at least. I have actually been using this through the years for when I go to formal occasions. So anytime I have to dress up, I usually pick some kind of solid colored dress. It's usually like black or navy or something. And I will use this bag as my fancy purse, this clutch. It is kind of falling apart. I don't know like if that's how it came to me or if I've added to it. I'm sure I've added to it, but I love this, and it goes so well when I just wear like a solid colored dress. It still like clasps so nicely. So this one is particularly special to me because it was my mother's and I've just used it the longest. And this like plastic is really held up. I just feel like people don't make things the way that they used to. They're not as durable. This has seen better days. I think I rescued this from my mom, so it could be from America. My great grandmother passed away a while ago now, but her basement was just a treasure trove of beautifully kept vintage things. And when she passed, I was still a teenager, and I hadn't quite developed my love of antiques and vintage things at that point. But it wasn't but a few years later where that was a really big thing for me to be into antiques. So that is one of the biggest regrets in my life, is that I never got into any of my great grandmother's stuff before it was all pretty much sold off. We do have a few things that we keep in the family, so we kind of just circulate these items like a bedroom set and that kind of thing, just to keep it in the family. But this and this might have been hers. I don't use this because it's so damaged, but I don't want to get rid of it. I want to have it, but it is pretty cracked. It has this chain that goes with it. What is it? Eckhart? I don't know. I don't know much about vintage stuff, so it's not like I can identify anything or the era or who it was made by or anything like that. But the inside is still, you know, nicely kept together, pretty organized and functional. But this just kind of stays in my collection without being used. And the last thing that I think came from my family is this purse. And I don't know, this looks like it's from the 50s or something. It's not in the best shape. And I think I kept this too just because I didn't want anybody else to have it, or I didn't want it to get sold. But this isn't anything that I would actually carry around. It's just a little too not my style. What is it? A naturalizer handbag. Don't know what that means. But I love how this opens up so big. It has a really large mouth and a little slit pocket there. Oh, it has writing at the bottom. Like I'm gonna know what that says. It says something leather. Imitation leather. It's got numbers too. I bet if I looked that up, I could find something out. All right, so there's that, and those are the things that I've had for a while. So I wanted to also add things into my collection for use as pencil pouches and stuff like that. So the first thing I got was this pencil pouch from Lindock, and this is actually made with vintage linen. So it's a freshly made pencil pouch, but the material is vintage. And I love this so much, and I follow her on Instagram. Everything will be linked in the description, by the way. So any shops that I bought from, I will link them all below. It's a little tricky when you're buying, like, not this, but everything else is like a one-off item. So even if I tell you where I got it, it's not like there's another one of it. But, you know, maybe you can have a look and, you know, see what else is offered. And also I had really great experiences with every shop that I'm going to list. So, you know, if that helps you. But yes, so I follow Lindock on Etsy or on Instagram, and she said Julie is the one-woman show behind this shop. And she said that she just used up the last of this fabric. So I totally ended up getting another one of these, a duplicate. You know what? Let me go ahead and just get it. Okay, so I got this one, which the pattern is slightly different, but I love that. So I just wanted to have another one as kind of a backup or a spare, which is ridiculous, but I don't do that often either. But for some reason, I just didn't want to not have this. Like if something happened to this while it was in use, I wanted to make sure that I had another one just in case. But also, I've been playing with the idea of just using this in my purse for some organization, but my purse is a pretty like hazardous environment. So I don't know if I want something like this, which is a bit more precious to me, to be in there. But in any case, I have two, okay? Like, let's move on. So there's that. Everything else is basically, the whole thing is vintage. So we'll start with this one because I've shown this on Instagram and in my, in some videos. This is a 1960s like chenille chartreuse type of cosmetic pouch. So it has this kiss lock closure, which is so, I love these so much. They're just so sturdy and hardy. And it has this crushed velvet, like super bright red interior, and it has this mirror. I am currently keeping all of my demonstrator fountain pens in here, and I love it. I love it so much. This is made in Japan. It has this sticker here, and then it has a tag that's sewn in, this little white tag here. Sorry if you can see like my washer and stuff. I film in my laundry room. But this white tag says made in Japan as well. This is such a perfect size. Oh my gosh, I can't even get over it. But sorry, I got cut off by a phone call. But what I was saying was, this is in such great condition. There were no stains. You know, it just, there was no damage to it at all. So This was such a great find. I got this from Violet Pony on Etsy. So I really, really love that. The next thing I have is this tartan coin purse. I love the sizes of these. I was really trying to pay attention to measurements because I wanted them all kind of similar because I wanted to use them as an option for a pen pouch. This is just darling, and it came in amazing condition as well. This did come all the way from Scotland, and it has a double kiss lock closure, which it said it had 2 openings, but in the photos, it only showed the inside of one of them. So I didn't really understand that each of these opened to a completely separate compartment. That is so friggin' fantastic, because when I have all of my pens and supplies, it's just super convenient to have 2 completely separate compartments to organize things. This is a brown velvet in amazing condition as well. So I was using this for my current pens that I was using, but then I switched to this. So this is just another option of mine. And if you can't tell, I really love greens and browns and those type of earthier colors. So a lot of these you're going to see obviously have a lot of the same kind of color scheme. So let's do some of these bigger ones. But this one I did get from Scottish Art on Etsy. This one's really, really cool. So it's this cute, like rectangular, rounded, cornered case. And it has this like amber lucite handle. But it has this beautiful, like petite point embroidery, I believe. It's got these little feet, and it has butterflies and florals, and it's gorgeous. I love it. So, and it is quite, it's quite large. So it's bigger than I thought it would be, but it actually fits all of my Crayola super tips like beautifully in here. So I'm kind of playing around trying to figure out if I want to transition the storage of those super tips into here or not. I'm not sure. So it's got this little pocket. It's got some staining on the inside, but otherwise this is in really good shape. It says JR Florida, USA. Again, I don't know anything about that. It came with this. I don't know if this is meant to be with this, but when I bought this, it was just kind of sold together. So this is supposed to be like a glasses pouch. I don't know what to do with this yet. It's really thick and bulky, but beautiful nonetheless. This is from Wylie Owl Boutique, and this is from the 1950s. So this is just so adorable, and just, it looks so vintage to me with the shape and everything. It's so darling. This purse is supposed to be from the 1970s. So I love things that are old and that have history and just come to me having a life. I think that's so much more fun to use, I think. I just get a lot of pleasure out of that. So I'm going to go to my biggest thing here. All right, so this was way, way larger than I thought it was going to be. I was really attracted to this because, again, it has that like petite point embroidery, and it was florals, and it had a brown background. I find that to be really hard to find, to have something with a brown background. I find a lot of black, which is beautiful as well. So, and this is also on the back. which is really, really nice. A lot of purses and bags that I have found, the embroidery is just like on one side. So this is huge. And the other thing, oh, hope this stays in focus, is that it does not open very big at all. And when you open it, it tends to want to pop back closed. So I am actually using this for storage. This is like cameras and film that I haven't used in a while. So all of this stuff that's in here used to be in one of my storage boxes. So I took all this out of there and freed up that box for more like fountain pen storage. So this is just holding all of my camera and film things at the moment and just rests on my shelf. But it looks so good in my little nook in my Cloffice area, because I have some embroidery artwork up on the wall in there too. So this just kind of goes lovely with it, and the colors are all, you know, complementary, and I love it. But I was surprised that that one ended up being so big. I think I bought that one a wee bit too quickly. So probably my favorite thing, I don't know, it's hard to say favorite, out of the whole bunch is this. Oh, by the way, this, I really need to get better at this, but this is from the 1950s, and it is from Peaches and Pierre on Etsy. Okay, so back to this one. It's quite possibly my favorite thing out of everything that I have. It is a absolutely wonderful size. This is from the 1920s, and it's from Penelope Textiles on Etsy. A lot of, like 3 of these places that I've mentioned are in the UK. This is so stunning. Again, it has a brown background and gorgeous florals on both sides. And it just has such beautiful like imprinting on it. And it has like this kind of Art Deco type stuff on it. And I don't know, I think it's gorgeous, and I love all of the details that are just all over it. And it has on the seam some more embroidery, and oh my gosh, I love this one so, so much. And it opens by flipping that up, and then it opens like that, and then you can just snap it back. So it's in beautiful working order. The only thing is the silk lining was removed out of this at some point, but I don't mind that. The structural integrity of this is just fantastic, and on the outside it just is in such beautiful, beautiful condition. So what I've taken to using this for is to keep my vintage fountain pens in. I currently have one, but I mean, I've got more on order because, you know, who isn't zealous when they start on a new hobby, right? So this is just a felt like pen sleeve that I just sewed it up really quickly. I plan on keeping all of my fountain pens together in here, but I don't want them clanking against each other. So I'm making them all a little like sleeping bag to sleep in while they're in here, and they can be all, you know, snuggly and protected. I'm gonna do like another video about my vintage fountain pens once I have them for a little while, maybe at the end of June or something like that. But this is a Schaefer, and I'm not gonna get all into it, but it is a beauty. I love this so, so much. So anyway, I want to keep all of my vintage pens together, and I thought this would be the perfect, most excellent bag to keep them all in. And this opens nice and big, and it stays open, and I have no complaints at all about that. And I just love these things. So I have one more. Oh no, I don't. I have this one. Hold on. Okay, this one. Oh, did I say? Yeah, I already said where that one came from. Okay. So then I have this. This is from the 1950s or 60s, and it is from Happy Day Collection Co. on Etsy. And it is so pretty. This one has the black background, but the embroidery on this is like soft and like parts of it are raised, and I love the colors on this. They're so bright and vibrant, but I love the dark background. It's just very like moody to me. This is also a double kiss lock closure, which is super fun. It has, it's from Style Mark and made in the USA since 1901. And it has a clear divider in it. So, and then there's like this clear plastic that's just on this side, and then the clear divider, and then no plastic over here. They are completely separated, and it does come with this little chain, but it tucks away really nicely in there. So I have been using this one on the go. So, which is starting to pick back up. I haven't been going anywhere lately, like most of us, but whenever I go anywhere and I want to bring my journal, I will bring this little clutch and put all of the pens that I want to use in it, and then put any stickers, washi tape, whatever, on the other side. And then I have a little on-the-go clutch to go with my journal. And let me grab for sizing here. Okay, so this is my standard sized, this happens to be a Sojourner, but it's a standard sized traveler's notebook, and it's like pretty much the same size. And I love being able to just grab both of these and be on the go. And don't they look so nice together? So that's what I've kind of gravitated towards this one for. I've been really enjoying that, and I love that it has the double openings there. All right, so the last thing, it's not a bag or purse or clutch per se, but inside this is the pouch that I use with my mega planner. So I am always using this. It has everything I need for that system. It's just like a contained planning system with this pouch and my mega planner. So in here, I have all of the writing instruments that I need, but then I also have this little leather envelope case, and it actually came with this as well. These are quite stunning, and they both have a little like petite point decoration in there. There's like a plastic covering over them, but how stunning, right? So this is from, like, these two are from the 1910s or 20s, and the listing said possibly earlier, but I got these from Old English Roses on Etsy. And this is an old calling card case, and this is actually a cigarette holder. So it actually came with some old calling cards and some old cigarettes. So let me try to gently take these out. So here are the cigarettes. Like, how cool is that? So these were in there. They don't have a smell anymore. So, like, you know, they just smell vintage, like old and musty, kind of how everything does. But yeah, these are still completely intact and just really incredible. So I just have them in a bag, in a little baggie, and I'm just keeping them because I don't know what else to do with them. But these are the old calling cards. They were in here. There is like a big opening and then this little slip pocket opening. So it says Mr., I guess it's a CGL Holmes or G, I don't know. But these three little calling cards were in there. just slipped in the front here, which is like so neat. And I just went ahead and saved those as well. Like I said, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with those yet, but I'm just kind of keeping them safe over there. So for this, because it's in my planner pouch, I just have my like Post-it tabs that I like to use in my planner, some like sticky notes that I use with some Post-it tabs, and then these are also some sticky notes that I randomly use as well. So this just has all the extra bits of planning supplies that I like to keep in it. It all just kind of sits in there. So lovely. I did put some, what did I put in here? Oh, I think some mink oil, like mink wax. You know, the edges were a little bit dry, so I just kind of massaged it in, rubbed it really lightly just to kind of give it a little like moisture again. This came in extremely excellent condition for the age, and it's got like the cutest little stitching on it. These are just stunning, and they're incredibly lightweight. And I know there's got to be some like cardboard or something. There's some kind of like reinforcement in here because it's so thin and it almost feels like papery, but you can see how it's like folded in on the tip there. I mean, these are in amazing condition, and I love that there's still like color in these grooves. So here's the cigarette holder. It's so neat because it has this little tab and you just pull it out and it opens like that. So I have also massaged this with some mink oil. It says made in Austria, and I don't know what that says. It maybe Burke or something like that. Not that that means anything to me, but right now I'm just keeping all of my journal tabs in here. It's kind of perfect. So that is that, and this just rests in a side pocket in my journal tote. I will link that video below. But yeah, so I just kind of keep this in there, and you know, it's pretty safe and protected. And you know, this as well, I like to use my stuff. Like the reason I have this stuff is because I enjoy using these kinds of things. But for these more delicate things, I also don't want to be rough about it. So if I feel like the environment is a little too rough for like either of these things, then I'll rethink that. But I am so pleased that I have these in my collection to be able to use. And I really hope that like one of my kids ends up loving vintage and antique things as much as I do, because I would love to have this sort of treasure trove to pass down to them. And especially, you know, my vintage fountain pens. I mean, this is from the 1920s. I mean, this guy is a century old. So, you know, I just think it would be an amazing thing to pass down. So anyway, those are all of my bags that I've been loving and enjoying lately. I mean, what's not to love? They're just so pretty, so gorgeous. And I love that they all kind of have a history that I can wonder about. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all very soon. Bye.